Hello and welcome. This is Usman. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about calculate function in DAX. Calculate is the most important and most powerful formula in DAX, which is mandatory for anyone to learn if they want to perform advanced DAX calculations. It is very similar to the Excel function of some ifs, but definitely more powerful and very useful. To provide a little background, it is important to recall that all calculations inside DAX are performed within an evaluation context, which is either a filter context or a row context. The power of the calculate function lies in the fact that it can add, modify, or remove a filter context, which is applicable on any calculation inside a pivot table or a Power BI visual. The syntax of the calculate function is very simple. It takes only two arguments. The first argument is the expression, while the second argument is a list of conditions that a user can specify. Only the first part of the syntax is mandatory, which is the expression. For the second part, which specifies the filters, calculate can take any number of conditions. However, these are optional. Now let's discuss further with the help of an example. In this current visual, I have sales for each of the regions for the year 2019. The sales value is coming through a simple measure. It sums the sales values from the column sales. You can see the East region and the year 2019 derives this value of 732 million. Now suppose we want to compare all our sales with the sales of the North region. In order to do that, I need to have one additional column over here, which should give me the sales for the North region alone. Let's use calculate to achieve this objective. For this, I'm going to add a new measure. I will call this measure North sales, and I will use calculate. As for the expression, I can either use a formula here or I can use an already created measure. Since I have already created a measure here, I'm going to add that measure by using a square bracket and pressing tab. Sales amount is my measure, and I'm going to now apply my condition. The condition is applicable on the region column of the data, and the condition is that I want to have the sales of the North region only. So I'll specify text within the inverted commas. I will close the bracket, press enter, and I will use comma separator and no decimal places. I will bring in the sales of North region in my visual, and there you can see the sales value of in this column is of the North region, 730 million. So you can see that we have the sales of North region in all of the rows of this new column. We can understand that in front of the North, it will show a value, but for other rows, it could have shown a 0 or a blank. However, it shows the same value as North for all the other regions. Why is it like that? To answer this, let's first understand that in the value which we just calculated, let's take this first value of 730 million in the first row. There is an internal filter which is provided by the calculate function, where while there are certain external filters which are applied to the row and column. The external filters on this particular cell is the region East and the year 2019. Whereas the internal filter that is provided for this calculation is the region North. The calculation is done in the following manner. Calculate obtains the current filter context of this value of this particular cell, that is the region East and the year 2019. We will call these external filters. Calculate then evaluates the filters provided by the calculate function over here, in which the region is North. We will call this internal filter. When there is a conflict between an internal filter and an external filter, the internal filter always prevails. So the calculate function will replace the existing external filter of East region with this internal filter of the North. When there is no conflict, let's say for example in the year 2019, since there is no filter which specifies a year in the calculate function, there are no internal filters available for the year. So there's only one external filter available. In this case, the calculate function will respect that external filter. When there are two or more conditions applicable on the same column, those conditions are assumed to have an and in between them. That is, all of them will have to be satisfied simultaneously. When all this filtering is done, the calculate performs the maths provided by the expression, which is the sum of the sales amount. So in this case, the existing filters on the region were replaced by the calculate, resulting in the same value for each of these cells. Let me show you what will happen if I add another year in the column. Let's add, I will add 2018 as well. So in this case, you can see we have two columns, 2018 and 2019, and in the sales amount we have region-wise sales for 2018 and region-wise sales for 2019. In this north sale column, you can see that the north sale for 2018 is being populated in this column, whereas for 2019, the 2019 sales for north region has been populated in this column. So in fact, the calculate function respects the year filter, the external filter on year, because there is none provided by the calculate function in itself. So in absence of any internal filter, calculate will always respect the external filters. Let's take another example of the calculate function. In this case, the filter context is coming from the rows, the year, the month, and the day, and this filters the database to get this value of 7.398 million. Suppose we want to compare the sales values with those 1 year before. If I want to compare this sales value with the sales value of 1st January 2017, in order to do that, we can use a calculate function to remove the current filter context of 2018. The month is okay, the day is okay, but the filter context on the year has to be replaced with something which will bring sales from the previous year. Let's try it out. I'm going to use the measure using the calculate function. I will call this last year sales. Using the calculate function, I'm going to use the same measure sales amount. And now to apply the filters, there's another Dax function which is called same period last year. And it takes only one argument, which is the dates. So we have dates in the dates table, and the column is date. So I'm going to specify that, and after closing the bracket, I will format the value to 0 decimal place, and then I will just bring in the value in this visual. So we have this last year sale as well. So let's verify if we can whether the values are correct or not. If I go down and see in 20 and go to 2019 January 1st 2019, the sales value is 7.770, whereas the last year sales value, which means the sales value for January 1st 2018, is 7398. Let's verify this. 7398 should be the sales value for this and appearing in this column. So exactly we are having last year sales value in front of our current sales value. So the calculate function replaces the existing filter on the year column and replaces it with the filter provided by the calculate function, which is the last year, same period last year. So we have just discussed two examples of the calculate function. This calculate function, as I explained earlier, is a very, very important and powerful function. And the power of the calculate function lies in its power of replacing the existing filter context with the filter specified by calculate function itself. We are going to discuss further examples, further applications of the calculate function in the coming videos. And we are also going to discuss the concept of context transition as well. I hope you would have enjoyed this current video, and thanks for watching.